The PBA season is in full swing. We've seen the return of a rising superstar. A surprise story take the tour by force. And proof that perseverance is rewarded. But the true test of a bowler's career is measured by majors. To succeed, he must possess an unmatched mental toughness, tenacity, and the endurance of a champion by laying it all on the line for one shot at history, thus being placed forever in the pages of PBA lore. Today, we crown our first major champion of the season. The 2005 USBC Masters starts now, and we guarantee this will be no flop. U.S. Cellular Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. ESPN brings you live coverage of our first major of the season, the USBC Masters. Today we will crown a major champion who takes home $100,000 on the Denny's PBA Tour. Now all four finalists are ready to roll.
It's been over 11 years since his last TV appearance, but this three-time World Team Challenge champion still has what it takes to make it on the Denny's PBA Tour. From Canandaigua, New York, Ken Muscato.
This 39-year-old postal worker feels like his game is as good as ever because of maturity, equipment, and experience. He believes that the difference between him and a professional is just a membership card. Can the mailman deliver today?
An All-American from Central Missouri State University. Today he's making his first PBA TV Finals appearance from Lansing, Michigan, Art Brown.
Art Brown, another amateur to make the telecast today. He came within one pin of leading this tournament. Now he has to win 3 games to take his career to the next level.
He owns 2 Denny's PBA Tour titles and makes his second career television appearance in a major championship. From Amarillo, Texas, Mike Scroggins.
The party at Scroggins is back in the big house. He finished 3rd at last season's World Championship, and today this unassuming lefty has a chance to win his first major title.
Thank you! Thank you!
A 2-time PBA Player of the Year and USBC Hall of Famer. Today he looks for his second USBC Masters title. From Claremont, Florida, Norm Duke.
The smallest competitor may possess the largest heart in today's field. He captured the top spot, knocking out 4 consecutive left-handers. This lone righty could have a big advantage as he goes for his second Masters crown today.
These are your finalists competing for the United States Bowling Congress Masters Championship.
Our format for the USBC Masters has been very difficult for the 4 surviving bowlers. We started with more than 450 competitors. After 15 games of qualifying, we were down to 63, plus defending champ Danny Wiseman. Then 3-game total pinfall match play, then more bowling to determine the final seeds. They've been very busy. Hello again, everyone. Welcome, Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson alongside. We'll hear from Erica Herskowitz, lane level, in a moment. What an atmosphere, Randy, we've got here. The 56 Masters, the 3rd time it's been held in this great bowling city. Now, you know a thing or two about winning major championships. You've done it back in '87. It really can change your career and put you in the PBA record books forever.
It really can. And, you know, out of my 13 wins, my biggest win was my 1 lone major. And when I think of major championships, I think of 3 things. Number 1, venue. We're here at the U.S. Cellular Arena. The crowd is fantastic. Number 2, format. Every major always has a really tough, demanding, grueling format, not only physically, but mentally. And last, but certainly not least, prize money. $100,000, life-changing money to the winner today.
And that it is. Our 2 amateurs can win the $100,000. They cannot earn the 2-year exemption. But really, Randy, an interesting field. The 2 amateurs, 4 total bowlers, 3 of whom are left-handed.
It really is an intriguing round of 4 players today. With two amateurs starting in the first match, although Ken Muscato does have tour experience. He was back out on the tour in the 90s, and he had made a show back in 94. Mike Scroggins, Dave, he's got plenty of arena finals experience. He finished third at last season's Denny's World Championship. And then the last guy, the Duke.
The great Norm Duke, who's given us so many great highlights and unbelievable moments, like 2003 Earl Anthony Classic presented by Storm in Tacoma, Washington. It was a 300 game against none other than Hall of Famer Walter Ray Williams Jr., who himself has won 40 titles on the PBA Tour. Want a moment? What a reaction. When he clinched the 300 game on TV, it was the 15th in PBA Tour history. We've since had another by Major Mika Koivunemi. We have a step-ladder format today. The two amateurs, Ken Muscato and Art Brown, match up first. The winner takes on Mike Scroggins, looking for his first major. The winner of that match will battle top seed Norm Duke, the legend, looking for his 23rd career Denny's PBA Tour title. As we mentioned, we're pleased to be joined again by Erica Herskowitz, who is lane level with the first two bowlers, Art Brown and Ken Muscato, in our step-ladder format.
Thanks, Dave. Ken, it's been 11 years since you bowled on TV. Now you're in an arena event with $100,000 on the line. How are you able to maintain your focus?
Good question. Just get into my game, get into my rhythm, think about making good shots, and let the pins fall the way they be.
Thank you.
I'd like to take the chance to say hi to my kids, Michael and Elena.
Now to Art Brown. Art, you've had an incredible week, incredible run. Is there anything in your life that compares to what you're feeling right now?
Not to this point, but you never know, in the future, something bigger than this could happen.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Dave, back to you.
All right, Erica, thanks so much. First place, as we mentioned, $100,000 in our first major of the season. Second place, well, Norm Duke has clinched that already. In the step-ladder format, he's the #1 seed, $50,000. Third place at $25,000. Down to 15 grand for the fourth place finisher. It's step-ladder. Muscato Brown, two amateurs head-to-head first. The winner moves on. Take on Mike Scroggins. Winner of that match, Norm Duke. From upstate New York, near Rochester. Muscato gets on. First major underway with a strike.
What a way to start for Ken Muscato. Keep in mind, Ken finished 8th in this event last season, and he was only one match win away from making the show last season.
Brown from Lansing, Michigan. Computer systems analyst. Very active amateur bowler. Good start for him. Late help on the 10-pin. Art Brown, who spent most of his childhood in Reno, Nevada, growing up near the stadium. Great bowling venue there. Randy, our first Ace Hardware matchup of the day.
Two amateurs. Again, Ken Muscato has television experience. The first time for Art Brown ever feeling anything like this in his entire life. You can see all the games that these two players bowled this week. 92 total between the two.
Art has never been on TV, but told us before the match today was very relaxed. Double wood for him. 3-9.
This is where the left-handers played all week, and there's friction there. This ball never grabs the lane, and he's lucky to only leave the 3-9.
So interesting. Three lefties all trying to carve their path to the pocket. In warm-ups, only 15 minutes of practice time on the TV pair. Double wood takes care of it. Not a lot of time. And how much room do we have there between the three lefties and their styles?
Well, all three lefties played the lane similar, but the one thing you have to keep in mind with these bowling balls that are used today, every time a ball is thrown down the lane, it absorbs oil. When the players are throwing spare balls down the lane, they're made out of plastic, and they're pushing oil down the lane to the sides. So when you have three lefties on one side of the lane, normally what happens is they get what's called carry down. You get some oil that pushes to the back part of the lane and makes the lanes a little bit tighter on their side.
7-pin for Ken Muscato from Canandaigua, New York, who actually bowls out of Doug Kent's bowling center in Newark, near Rochester.
You can see just how straight Ken Muscato's going. And again, we talk about the oil being in the back part of the lane. That's one of the reasons why he leaves at week 7. And weak meaning the 4-pin goes to the sidewall, lays kind of dead in the gutter, instead of going to the sidewall and caving that 7-pin out. Look out.
Missed it. An open frame for Ken Muscato. We'll see how badly that damages his chances to advance to the match with Mike Scroggins.
Got up there and just whiffed it. Wide left. You know, if it was a Norm Duke or Mike Scroggins, they've been in this situation before. It's a lot easier for them to shake off something like this happening to them. For Ken Muscato, who doesn't have the same experience, well, we'll have to wait and see how he rebounds.
Has been on TV before, but it's been a long time. Great shot in the pocket for Ken Muscato.
Done and over with.
His last TV appearance all the way back January 22nd of 1994, Lakewood, California. Lost to Steve Wilson, 210-187. 11 years, 9 months, 29 days to be exact. The drought between TV appearances, but he's been off the PBA Tour for a long time. Had tendonitis issues with his middle finger, did Muscato. And that helped derail his chances for a full-time career. Art Brown with an answer.
Here we go.
Tell you what, he has a real nice form, doesn't he? You see what he did and how he got to the TV show in that exciting match against Norm Duke, where Norm Duke needs a mark in the 10th frame to clinch the top seed and a minimum of $50,000. Normally it's a 6-7 split.
Unbelievable.
Art comes flying out of his seat, and guess what? Norm Duke makes it.
Converted the 6-7. Was that ever dramatic? Very different format we'll talk about today to get this far.
There you go.
Come on. Little emotion for the former collegiate star from Central Missouri State. He's a 4-time All-American in college.
See how he gets this ball to finish high in the pocket, Dave? Whatever he did, he made the adjustment. Watch this. You know he's going to like it as soon as he lets go.
Randy, in my mind, that is the biggest key for the lefties today. How to make the move at the right time. It's about anticipation because you have 3 southpaws.
I agree 100%. It is all about anticipation. 3 guys on that side.
Goes a little bit high, but gets a late trip. And Muscato strikes again. Here's Muscato's run. Some big names, as he told us, Randy, before the match today. Walter Ray Williams Jr., Wes Malott, the hottest bowler on tour. Jason Couch, 11-time titleist, and of course, the sizzling hot Tommy Jones. All he's done is won 15 straight TV shows. In Tulsa, in Japan this year, 4 titles last year. So, as Ken said, hey, I've knocked off some of the great champions. Today is my day to prove myself that maybe I am the best amateur out there. Got some work to do after the open frame. Right through the nose.
Yep. You called it. I mean, he gets this ball right the whole way. Goes right through the face. Lucky not to leave a split, but he left himself one of the toughest spares you could leave for a left-hander that's non-split or washout. The key is to try to cover the back pin, the 8-pin.
Ken, as we said, does have experience here. Finished 8th at the Masters last season. This is his 4th appearance in this event. Calling that experience now. Covers nicely.
You have no idea what a great shot that was.
That was a big shot for Ken Muscato from Canandaigua, New York. That's smack dab in between Syracuse and Buffalo, upstate. And no, Randy, it's not snowing there yet. Soon.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's inevitable. You can believe. There's one thing for certain. It will snow eventually.
Wow, look at that ball. What a break to get 9 pins.
A lot of 9.
It sure is. As he was way light, switch zone hit. Very much left to target.
Yeah, this is wide left. He knows it as soon as he lets go of it. He's hoping not to leave the 7-pin with that 3-pin. Now just leaves himself an easy single pin conversion.
But I thought one thing that was interesting when we interviewed Art Brown is that he said that he thought Ken Muscato was the best amateur out there.
This is a one-game match, step-ladder format, to see who takes on Mike Scroggins next. All right, now thanks to the open frame.
Relax.
And a second for Muscato. Art Brown from Lansing, Michigan is trying to relax.
Make your shot.
Pin.
My.
Good pitch.
He peered that one, and the ball's going to go right by the 8-pin. You watch this guy throw it. One thing I love about his game is how balanced he is at the foul line. He thought it was perfect, but that strong bowling ball and all that friction created down lane made the ball go right by the 8-pin.
If you're thinking amateurs, Randy, winning this event, it has happened 6 times prior. Here's the 8-pin. Our lefty, Brett Wolf, won it in Reno back in 2002. Brian Bogosian, Syracuse in '99. Maybe Brown and Muscato will add their name to the list of amateurs who have won at the USBC Masters. This match continues next. The USBC Masters on ESPN is brought to you by the United States Bowling Congress, ensuring the integrity and protecting the future of the sport of bowling. Bowl with us. By Denny's, we're cooking now. By Ace, the official hardware store of the PBA. Ace, the helpful place. And by Dexter, where you can play with the pros. Enter to win at DexterShoe.com. There he is, the #1 seed, Stormin Norman Duke, looking for his 23rd Denny's PBA Tour title. Another Masters.
Another hour.
Won already back in '93. He's won major championships. He's getting ready in the players' locker room. Art Brown taking on Muscato, first match. Then let's check out our special oil pattern here at the Masters. It's 40 feet long.
40 feet, USBC sport condition. The players had to play real straight this week because of the length, and the lefties were playing pretty much outside the first arrow, right up to 2-3 board, and when the lanes broke down, they just migrated in. Norm Duke, well, he's played straight up 6, 7, 8 to start, and look at this, folks. The only right-hander today has all of this all to himself.
So Norm awaits the step-ladder format. We see 7 perfect games this week. Mike Scroggins, the only one of the 4 finalists who did bowl a 300 this week at Bolero, nearby from downtown Milwaukee where we are. It's the home of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee Panthers. What a story they were in college basketball last year. Great arena setting. Back to Ken Muscato. Perfect shot. 60 feet to success for Muscato, returning to TV.
Here are the 2 lines both players are playing. Ken Muscato's the red line, Art Brown, the blue line. You can see Ken Muscato much straighter, less back end. Art Brown, more revolutions, more power, thus bigger break down the lane.
We told you that Ken Muscato is a postal carrier in rural upstate New York. We asked him, why'd you leave the PBA Tour? Family commitments. He just thought raising some young kids would be a lot better for his life to be home with them. That is way high, almost crossed over the head pin.
He's struggling on that lane, and something that he had all week long was hold, meaning when he pulled it, the ball would hold target or stay on line. And today, on that lane, it certainly isn't.
There's Kay. Coming from Canandaigua. Their kids, Michael, 2nd grader, and Elena, kindergartner, are back home watching on TV. You heard the shout out from Ken after the interview with Erica already this afternoon. Can't cover. The 8-pin stands, another open frame.
Right now, Art Brown's arm swing just got a lot looser, and I told you before when he shot this how tough it was that you had to cover that back pin, and with Kenny Muscato's low rev rate, that's difficult to do.
Second and 7th. Open frames. Brown works on a spare. 26-pin lead. He's out of the pocket as well. And a 7-pin count. 3 for his mark. Duke watches on TV in the players' locker room. He's not far from TV stage here.
It looks like a lion licking his chops right before feeding time.
Norm has said it, others have said it certainly on the tour. It's his event to win. He's in great shape, being the only righty. Nice cover, Art Brown. Art, the amateur from Lansing, Michigan, has other ideas.
Come on.
Bowled well last year, Grand Rapids. PBA event, finished 27th, got to the round of 64, then in the round of 32 lost to last year's Player of the Year, Patrick Allen. So that was in 6 games last year. 4th Masters appearance for Art Brown. He's bowled 5 PBA events in his career. He's been here before.
Yes!
Wow.
Let's go!
Beauty.
And he's going to go further with shots like that.
Come on now.
A lot easier to make shots like this when you have a lead.
Yes! Let's go!
Very colorful young man. Very polite when we interviewed him. Real nice kid. Great arm swing. He's got a great looking game.
Muscato is in a heap of trouble.
Get the swing now.
Much better shot for the very experienced amateur who has seen time on the PBA Tour.
Right now, Kenny Muscato needs to hit this left lane in the 9th frame. That'll set up his 10th frame. He can strike out to still shoot 212. Right now, Art Brown going at a 205 pace, meaning if he spare strikes, he'll shoot 205. Ken Muscato can still win this match.
Ken's message to us, interviewing him before this matchup. All that separates me from the PBA Tour is just a piece of paper.
Pretty
Tour
bold
card.
Pretty bold statement.
Can he back it up? 2 open frames. Going to be tough to come back from. Double wood. Lefty, that's the 3-9.
Yeah, that's the overcompensation from the last 2 shots on that lane that went high. You make an adjustment off of that. The one shot he pulls, he throws it bad. The next shot maybe goes high. He thinks he threw it good. He makes an adjustment off of it. It goes light.
A big theme for Ken, focus throughout the tournament, through tough matches. He really prides himself on mental toughness. Trust his game and his instincts. But Randy, sometimes when you have the 2 lefties and you're making such big moves, those instincts can let you down. Just happens with this sort of oil and this setup. ESPN's coverage of our Denny's PBA Tour rolls on. Chicago Classic. The greatest bowlers in the world compete for a piece of the $232,000 prize and the championship. The Denny's PBA Tour on ESPN Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. It's going to go south to Chicagoland as Stormin' Norman Duke from Claremont, Florida, hometown of Randy Peterson and Jason Couch.
Shot.
Off the mark, too.
Getting me.
Right now, Art Brown, all he has to do is fill frames, meaning no opens, spares or strikes. He wins and moves on. Right here, he almost leaves a split. Gets the 7 to go late, very lucky. Now all he has to do is convert the 3-9.
See a lot of the double wood, Randy. Why is that?
Ball just pushes a little bit too long down the lane, and it breaks in real late. And normally, when that happens, you're leaving the 7-pin with it when you're lefty. When you're righty, it's the 2-8-10. So he's gotten 2 really good breaks this game, only leaving the 3-9.
One good shot. Let's go.
You heard what he's saying. One good shot to try to put himself into the next match with Mike Scroggins. He awaits the winner, stepladder format. Norm Duke is the top seed. There is the lefty from Amarillo, Texas. He told us he'd be watching in the stands to get a feel for the oil, how it's going to develop, transition, the breakdowns with the southpaws out there. Needed 9. That comes in way high. Didn't like the release at all.
He needs a spare, and he wins. If he misses this, Ken Muscato can still strike out and win this game. And he knows it.
Whew, that was close.
2-4-7 here. All you got to do is cover all 3 pins with the ball.
TV debut here on the PBA Tour for Art Brown. Chance to win a match, face Mike Scroggins. He'll do it.
It's 1 pin, Dave. He's going to advance to face Mike Scroggins. And you know, you were talking about Mike Scroggins sitting there watching. Absolutely. He's a very interested viewer right now. He's watching what's happening on both lanes, who looks like they have the best shot. And this is going to factor into his game plan when he gets the practice leading up into his next match. There it is. He's your winner, Dave.
Great ball in this.
Take it to the house. I'll do it.
I'll do it, brother.
One down, guys. One down. Indeed, Art Brown, 1 has been dispatched of. Mike Scroggins awaits the winner. He'll take on Art Brown. Norm Duke will take on the winner of that match. See who takes home the Masters Championship. Norm is wrapped up at least 2nd place. And a tremendous week for the 4th seed, Ken Muscato from Canandaigua, New York. 39-year-old former PBA Tour member will come to an end.
Gonna have to throw better than that.
Got to agree with him, Randy. He's going to have to be better to beat Mike Scroggins.
Yeah, you know what I'm seeing right now is that all week long, like I said earlier, the left-handers had some hold. That's why they were so dominant this week. They had a great shot from out and a little bit of friction to the left and some hold to the right. And right now, early on, I don't see that hold, that lay area. And if that's going to be the case, I feel sorry for whoever bowls Norm Duke.
Top seed. See Mike Scroggins in the background. He is getting ready. Step ladder format. He's next up for Art Brown. Ken Muscato beat great bowlers like Walter A. Williams Jr., Wes Malott, Jason Couch, and Tommy Jones to get this far. But he cannot get by Art Brown, whose next opponent is fellow left-hander Mike Scroggins. The USBC Masters rolls on when we return to this great bowling city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. More on the way.